Army. And as we move the mission forward, it's about putting uh, feet in boots or troops on the line. And, when you look at our United States Army currently, we have over 150 different MOSs that people can serve in. And that's from engineering to logistics to cyber command to um, infantry, because we need every single discipline in order to make this work. A lot of people are under the belief that when you join the Army, the only thing you can do is carry a rifle and be shot at. But I would like to correct that by saying that only 8 to 10% of our current force are in combat arms or in special forces. And so that means a myriad of 90% of our current Army serves in other roles that support the ability to take the fight for where we need to, but at the same time to equip warriors. You're going to see a heavy uh, advertising campaign roll out that talks about the warriors. Then what type of warrior are you? And, what we're going to do is be able to showcase the types of things that our young people are doing to protect our nation. I'm very proud of my young son, who's a sergeant, and will hopefully be commissioning in the near future. But he protects the nation by flying a drone. And very funny, years ago when he was a teenager, I used to tell him, that joystick's not going to amount to anything. Well, through a joystick and a set of complicated controls, he's able to protect our nation by making sure we have eyes on and protect our soldiers. And, he constantly tells me that, sir, it's about the men. And he doesn't realize that I'm still dad. Sometimes I think he stands in position because of the CASA title. But, what's important is we got young men and women going to the United States Military Academy. In this coming year, we will again appoint young people for scholarships and to the academy. We'll continue to grow our Army and have it strengthened so that we can take the fight where we need to. At the same time, though, you're talking about the fight moving to a different domain, into the cyber world. And so, very heavily, the United States Army is recruiting towards those types of careers, which are information technology, cybersecurity type careers, to help protect our nation from that threat. Overall, it's going to be an exciting year for 2020 here on our local footprint. We will have 2 4-star general officers visiting us in the first quarter, again, to show their commitment to education. The head of the Training and Doctrine Command, General Funk, is actually going to be coming here to spend time with Orange County and Osceola County schools to make sure that educators understand what we need our students to be able to come prepared into the world, to whether they go civilian careers or they go military careers, to share what we're looking for. You have that very special surprise, and I won't steal that from you, Dee, of the other 4-star general that will be coming here in our footprint. But, there's what the Army views Orlando as a priority city. When you look at the recruiters and the young men and women here who are the boots on the ground making it happen, our young people over at the Orlando Recruiting Company or anywhere in our footprint that my voice can be heard, these are the young people out here with the tools to change people's lives for the better. And, I'm not going to make light that we are not put in harm's way, because we are. But these young men and women who choose to serve in that capacity allow us to be able to be on the radio here tonight, be able to walk the streets that we do, and be able to take advantage of the freedoms that are so sacred in our country, because freedom isn't free. But with these young recruiters, these people are out here doing it. I just want everybody in Orlando that's in hearing of my voice to know that the Gator Battalion and the Orlando Recruiting Company finished last year as the number 2 in the nation and are tracking very heavily to be number 1 in the nation in terms of providing the Army opportunity. So, Dee, that's a summary of what's going on, a lot of activity. But then, the key is, I love what you said, continuing to serve our soldiers today because they will be our veterans tomorrow. Continuing to create pathways for our veterans so that they have ample opportunity, so that when they do leave the active force and they become veterans, that they have access to everything that they are entitled to.
Yes. What advice would you give to our civilian counterparts and even some of our, veterans who really are not, still attached like you and I are, what advice would you give them, about supporting, those who are still, serving and those who have served?
Well, two things. So for the civilian community, I would say, if you see a veteran, know a veteran, get to understand that veteran story. Understand what that veteran served. I served as a signals intelligence analyst, as a cryptologic translator, in the intel side. But get to know every veteran story because these are some special people, and they come with some incredible talents. To employers, hire veterans, employ veterans. They're some of the most loyal, on-time, respectful people and dedicated to your mission because that's what they've been doing when they were serving on active duty. To my veteran brothers and sisters is stay in the fight, stay engaged, seek out the benefits that you're entitled to because of your service. Whether you've served one day to 32, 38 years, as some of my colleagues have, your every day, every hour that you served entitles you to your education benefits, your health care benefits, your guarantee for loans, which open doors and pathways to home ownership. Seek out the opportunities that allow you to use your veteran preference to gain employment that allows you to take care of you and your family. And if I may, the most important things to my brothers and sisters who are veterans, please seek out the mental health side of helping you deal with the challenges that you may come back here with. I will tell you, as a veteran, I go to my counselor. I seek out mental health counseling, and I'm not ashamed of it. I don't believe in the taboo that it says I'm weak because I do. I believe it says I'm strong because I admit where I need help in, and I go and seek out that help. Because I don't know if our community knows, but we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. And if we can stop just one of them every day, one of them by getting that veteran to that mental health counselor, encouraging them to continue to fight the good fight and fight for themselves, then we're making a difference. And indeed, I guess that's the biggest part of our message. My message is veterans count. And you know what? Veterans comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, hues, background, genders, orientations. If you served in our military, we should applaud you, and you should take advantage of every opportunity you have.
Yes. And,
I have a question for Mr. Braswell, because he does recruiting, right? Mr. Braswell?
Yes, sir.
You do recruiting also?
I am not a recruiter. I work very closely with the recruiting element. At the CASA, my job is to help bridge that community connection between our community and our recruiters so that they can effectively recruit people into the Army.
I got you. Because I had a question for you if you were. I don't know if you may be able to answer it, but something flashed across my mind when you're talking. I see so many young teens walking around doing nothing on the streets. Are there any qualifications that are required, age, education? Is anyone reaching out to these kids on the streets, just walking, getting into trouble?
Well, you know what? Yes, we are, and that's a very good point, Noel. And let me talk on that. One of the biggest challenges to putting people into our United States military is they get in trouble before age 14. They have some type of arrest record or some type of run-in with law enforcement, and that can be a disqualifier from them getting in the military.
Wow.
Second, another major challenge is obesity. Less than 20% of our kids that are graduating qualify to go in our United States military. They need to have a GED. They need to have a high school diploma. They need to be moving ahead. They need to be able to physically qualify. And so those are some of the things that run into trouble. So swimming upstream, I'd like to encourage young people and parents of young people who may be listening, continue to encourage them to stay out of trouble starting in third grade. Because what they do in middle school can affect them. I had a young man that I had the privilege of nominating for a 4-year Army scholarship, a $250,000 scholarship. The Army will pay up to $250,000 for this young guy to go to school.
I was there when you did that.
And, you know, you saw me present it to little Trinae Smith, a graduate of Evans High School.
Yes.
But there was a young man from Seminole High School that we nominated, and he was tracking very well towards his scholarship. But a blemish from his past, a prank that turned into an arrest record that caused him to be charged with a felony, even though he was exonerated, the arrest caused him to lose the eligibility for that $250,000 scholarship.
Wow. Bell's mic was off.
Yeah.
Sure, you were saying something?
Well, hopefully our young people are listening so they know if that's the direction you want to head into, then make sure that you stay clean.
And also, having been doing the Veterans Corner, we've learned so much from Ms. Jones and Ms. Timms and all the other people who've come in that have opened up our minds to what is happening and can be a benefit to our youngsters with the career opportunities, the education, and just a plethora of stuff, you know, for joining. And education can go unlimited as far as I was told. All right, I understand.
Well, you know, and I also want to take a minute to say that, you know, if you take a look at our contributions, our Caribbean community has really given a great deal to the United States military. When I was a young staff sergeant thinking about commissioning, I had a major walk over to me. He was our company commander and tell me, young man, you got great potential. What are you going to do with it? And I never knew that Major Vince Stewart, would help change directions in my life with that simple conversation. But he is a testimony. He's a KCO boy, graduate from Jamaica. He left there in his teens, but I'm just very proud of him, and I kind of want to salute him. I know he probably can't hear me, but maybe somebody will know him. But that's Lieutenant General Vincent Stewart, who went on to become the first man of color to head the Defense Intelligence Agency as the director.
Wow.
Who then went on to be the Deputy Commanding General of Cyber Command. And he's a Jamaican who served in our military that made a great difference. So I really want to applaud the Caribbean members of our community who serve right alongside with African Americans and others. And because we're just one big diaspora, we come from different islands and different nations, but we can make a difference by giving back to each other. And the military is a great way to do that, pave the way forward. Noel, this is one of the best GI Bills ever known to the history of the military, to where you've served, you can get out and go to school, you can be paid while you go to school, and your books be covered and your rent be covered, and, you know, for serving just as little as 4 years. So
Mr. Braswell,
opportunity out there.
I have to take a quick session break, and then I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to 1680 WOKB AM, Winter Garden, Florida.
As I promised, it was quick. Folks, you're listening to the Talk Up Radio Show on the WOKB radio station. And if you want to participate, ask one of our online guests a question or share some thoughts. 407-894-1680, 407-894-1680. All right, and on the phone we have our two people who are retired from the military, Dayla S.B. Jones, and Mr. Braswell. And I'm going to turn it back over to our guest. My wife is correcting me, I think.
I do have something to add to what Costa Braswell just said in reference to, I think you said his name was General Stewart, a Jamaican, and he was a major contributor to your success in the military. I'm glad you mentioned him, because we're looking for people of his caliber with his background and connection to the community, because one of the initiatives that I'm working on for 2020 is recognition of our Caribbean Americans who proudly served in the United States military, and also to recognize those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. And there are wheels in motion for this initiative to take place between 2020 and 2021. Recently, I was in Jamaica, and I met with some key personnel at the Jamaica Defense Force, and there will be more meetings and more teleconference to talk about how we're going to actually do these recognitions here in the United States, and also, for those that we're recognizing in Jamaica. And Casa Braswell, I would welcome your assistance in that area with all and everyone that you know that may be able to play a key role in us executing something as significant as this.
Well, Dee, you got my pledge of support and my willingness to do whatever we need to, because I think that every American, especially given the current national narrative, that every American, every immigrant that has served in our military should be applauded for that service. And we need to recognize that where the national narrative may not say that, I have proudly served with people from all backgrounds. And will gladly do it again. And, if I can be of any help to you in that effort, you just call.
Thank you. I also wanted to make everyone aware of one major event that's coming up in February, and that is on the 21st of February, where General Michael X. Garrett will be coming back to Orlando. And they can call me at 407-924-0810 for more information. But we need to come out and support, my General Garrett coming back to the community. This is not only an African-American soldier, but this is a soldier, for life. As Mr. Braswell stated earlier, this is a man who is in charge of 80% of the Army's assets, to include, personnel. So he has taken the time to come down to Orlando, and I think that we should pay respect and come out and listen to him. He will be at the Holiday Inn, which is located at 1724 North Alafaya Trail, Orlando. And again, that is on the 21st of February at 11:30 to 1 p.m. Now, I'll say he is an Army general. However, he's the general for all. Our program, our events are not only for the Army. We're all team, one fight. We're all serving for the same cause. So while it may be led by an Army organization, we're also here to support all 5 branches of the services. And I'll also put out just some general information to our listening audience. If you know of a veteran and or someone, a veteran especially, who has served, effective 1 January, if they are receiving any kind of military benefits and they do have a VA ID card, they will be able to utilize the local post exchange or base exchange or the Navy exchange and commissaries. But they have to have their ID card showing they do have a veteran's preference. Now, I've been reading online where some people are asking about OCONUS, meaning overseas. I'm not really too sure of that, but if they're located overseas or the family members located overseas, just ask them to go into their local customs office overseas, and they will be able to tell them whether or not they can use those privileges. Because even though they are a veteran, The SOFA, which is the standard, the standard, oh, it's with me right now. I don't know why, but it's called the SOFA agreement, and that's what governs us overseas. It is called the Status of Forces Agreement. I'm sorry, Status of Forces Agreement, and that's what governs us overseas. So it's a little bit different from being here in the States, but it's worth a try. It's worth looking into because I know a lot of people love going to shopping, at the military exchanges because things are cheaper and you do not pay taxes. Now, I know Noel had said earlier that he's going to take the last 30 minutes. So
No, no, go on. Don't stop. I mean, you have a good point going there. Don't we're flexible.
Okay. Well, I will make sure that you do get your time, so we'll only take a couple, more minutes to say, again, the purpose of this program is not only for the Army, it's not only for the Air Force, it's not only for the Marines, it's not only for the Coast Guard, and it's not only just for one individual branch of service. It is for all the branches, and it is also for anyone who shares an interest in providing support to our active duty service members, veterans, and their families in the community. It is a program where you can call in to ask questions. I am not the subject matter expert. However, I belong in a community where I am linked in, tied in to those individuals who are the subject matter experts, and we can get your questions answered to those. Because what I find out is that there are so many people within our community that have no clue of what benefits and or, what activities are going on in the community in support of the military. And I'm here to tell you that I think it would be a great idea for everyone to get engaged and get involved. And if you just want to support any military organization, as long as they're legit, please reach out to us. We'll provide you the information because there are a slew of organizations out there who support the military, whether it's financially, whether it's for mental health, whether it's for, medical. There's so many. As the lead, I should say, to several veteran organizations, one being the Orange County Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council, where I serve as the chair under none other than Sheriff Demings. This is an organization for the county that provides, we're a conduit to the community for anything veteran, related. And I welcome anyone and everyone who would like to be a part of that team. We meet every third Wednesday downtown at the Orange County Building in room 105. The Orange County Building is located at 201 North Roslyn. And we would love for you to come on out and join in. The year 2020, we will be ramping up, doing more in the community. And let me tell you, 2019 was a very, very productive year. And I am super, super excited that 2020 will be even better. The mayor is very, very supportive of our programs and what we're doing for veterans, and he encouraged any and everyone within the county or surrounding counties to join in and assist. I would like to thank all of our units, all the green suiters, meaning people who are still in uniform in the community, who are grinding every day. I'm talking about the soldiers who are assigned to the 143rd ESC, the National Guard units, the recruiters who are out there every day looking for those war fighters who are our future. I commend them. They are assigned to the Orlando Recruiting Company, which is what Mr. Braswell was speaking about, earlier. If you see them, please support them. Please support them. They are only there to provide the best to, the Army. You also have the UCF ROTC program. Those cadets are our future leaders. My organization, AUSA Sunshine Chapter, supports and sponsors these great, young professionals, and we're asking the community, to do the same. We have several key leaders in the community, from the Orange County Sheriff, who is an Army veteran, Sheriff John Meaner, who supports our community wholeheartedly. We have in Osceola County, Sheriff Russ Gibson, who supports, the community wholeheartedly. And, we also have, Casa Braswell, who is on the phone, who definitely go above and beyond and support the community. As we stated before, he is not only a United States Marine Corps veteran, Marine Corps for life, but he also supports, recruiters, veterans. I mean, he's always out there grinding. So I felt today, what better way, it would be for us to have him come in and talk about what he does in the community. I know that a lot of our community members sometimes feel afraid and or they don't know what's out there for them, but just remember, that's what we do. 90% of us, we are not paid to do what we do, but we do it because we love it. I personally, I'm a soldier for life. After serving 22 years, this is a way of paying it forward. This is a way of giving back. So I know I've said a lot. And again, I just want to thank WOKB for a wonderful year. And I look forward to coming back the fourth Sunday of January. And again, I thank you and I love you guys. Mr. Braswell?
I want to thank you too, Dahlia. Before Mr. Braswell speaks, you have done a wonderful job over the past year sharing information to our veterans, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who did not know all the benefits and the different things that were available to them. So I want to thank you for that. We will continue to support you, and we may surprise you at that ball next year. We haven't come.
I think you're gonna be there.
Yes, I'm claiming it.
Let's be positive. We're gonna be there. Do I need to buy a tux or can I just paint one?
It's gonna be Noel's big birthday, so.
Oh yeah, 6'5".
milestone birthday.
6'5". Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about what you should wear.
Yes.
Just promise me that you'll come and we can talk about the outfit later.
Yes, we'll be there.
Yeah. As long as we keep talking, it will happen. It's been a good experience having you share the Veteran Corner with our audience. Yes. You have made us aware of things that we didn't know, that we took for granted too. Mm-hmm. And we look forward to working with you guys in the future. We don't know in what capacity, but we are going to take the Talk It Up radio show off the air for a while. Beverly and I are going to take about a year or so off and get caught up on some stuff, do some traveling, stuff like that. And we just want to be free to visit the grandkids. They're all over Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and just take some time to enjoy ourselves.
And
yes.
Yes.
I also need to make sure that because Marsha is not on the program today, that does not mean she is not a part of the program. She's actually in flight. So she was in California, and I was, I'm still in Seattle. I'll be flying back on the red eye tonight. But we're still a team, and we're still going to be tag teaming for 2020.
Mm-hmm. Good job. Awesome. And Mr. Braswell wanted to say a few words to end.
Well, I just want to thank all of you for the program because it enriches our community. And I'm honored to have been a guest. And Dee, thank you so much for the kind words. And we'll continue to be supportive and make a difference with our community, especially our veterans community. And if I could just give a shout out to the veterans to say, if you are a veteran who has served in any of our branches of our armed forces, please tell somebody, because we have a generation now that don't have the connectivity to our military and our military story except through you. And I would ask that veterans would take time out and share their stories. And thank you, Noel, Barbara, and I'm sorry, Beverly.
Oh, you caught yourself. I said, who's Barbara?
Well, forgive me. That's the head, not the heart.
Good one.
Me for having this program, because I've listened for years, but I will tell you, if you can't find two finer people that believe in Orlando and our community, especially our Caribbean community, than the two of you, and you can't find a more powerful veterans advocate than Indeed. And the combination of you all coming together makes a difference. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of a grateful community.
Thank you so much.
We were honored to be a part of it. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys be safe out there.
Thank
You too.
you.
All right. God bless you all.
Yep.
In 2020.
Yes.
Happy
Thank
New
you,
Year.
and God bless.
God bless you. Folks, coming up next is the Jammin' Radio Show. Countryman is here. I see his lights flashing there. It's a pretty fancy computer. Wagwan, my brother. Yeah. We just want to say, this is our final goodbye. Last week we tried, and then we found out that this week we're going to be here again because one of my grandsons is out of town, so we're going to go to him this week. He won't be back till next year. So that left us open to be here. And also, we experienced something on Thursday night which really was unique. And it was something that was to honor our dear brother, Brian, who passed away. And it really was touching to listen to a restaurant full of people, not just a room, a restaurant full of people. The restaurant was closed, okay? And I want to say, I don't know what words I can use to Sophie and I miss his name now, my brethren. Not Brian, Sophie and Taste of Jamaica. Mark and Sophie.
Mark and Sophie.
I've known them from way back, maybe 20 years, and my memory is gone. Well, anyway, forget about me. It was really, truly, Bev and I were honored really to be part of that experience. And I didn't even know Brian played domino. And not just play domino,
He could give us 6 love.
Yeah.
A lot.
He could give but couldn't take.
Right.
It was good. It was an informal environment, and we all chatted. It was really, really a good experience. It's easier to talk about Brian than to talk about leaving the air, so I'll spend more time about that.
Well, we're still going to be involved in the
yeah,
community. As Noah
strong.
said, we're just taking a break to work on some things that we need to work on.
Is that what they call a hiatus?
Yes, we're not getting any younger,
Yeah.
so there are some things that we need to focus on for 2020.
I like you to put my big 65 out there, though.
We have some
I
new
claim it, I
goals
own
that
it, yeah.
we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
So we ask you, listeners, we thank you so much for your support over the
Yeah.
last 5 years. And
5
we
and a
ask,
half.
Yes, and we ask you to continue to pray for us that we will walk in the right direction that we're meant to go in.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how much time we have left. Our dear brother left this life at such a young age.
Right.
So it's very important that we focus on the priorities and make the main thing be the main thing.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you all.
And you're right, baby. Family.
Yes.
Family.
Family is the main thing, yes. So
Family. I know.
need to make sure we're spending enough
I know.
time.
There are times when the relationships in the family are not the best, but take the time to mend those. Our time is short. The time is short, and we don't know when. So don't put off what you can do today for tomorrow. Just don't do that.
Right.
I can't tell you how much it was a pleasure having my youngest grandson with us the 4 days before Christmas.
Mhm.
You know, and it reignites some of the things you learned when you were a kid or you're doing as a kid. You know, and we just want to say good night, goodbye. And
See you
Countryman
soon.
said, "Oh, yeah, talk about goodbye to
Yeah.
goodbye to."
We'll be here every now and then, Countryman. We'll
Countryman
come
has my
running on you.
He has some stapler and still my shoes to the floor back here. He's holding onto my car keys.
Yeah.
Folks, it was a pleasure. We do have quite a bit of our shows recorded on YouTube and Facebook. Information there is out there forever. Thanks to today's technology. And it costs you nothing. It's not a podcast. You know, just enjoy yourselves. We want to thank Shante, Glenn, Ms. Drina, Chris, and what's the guy? One of the technical sound. Richard, Rob.
You're on the here,
He does the technical sound. I know I'm on the air, but I mean, but the entire staff of the WOKB. You know, I remember when we just started over there in John Young, we were pushing green button when we were pushing red button, and it was a learning curve.
We've come a long way.
We've come a long way.
Mhm.
We still make mistakes, not because we're human, because my head is tough. You know, so. But I had a song lined up, but I really don't feel like playing the song right now. Just gonna ad lib it. Countryman, you can save the day anytime with something for yours.
Well, we just want to say also, as Sophie announced on the Back to Basics show, for those of you who love Brian, and you know, he also shared some things on our show as well. So I just want to share with you that the funeral arrangements have been set. It's going to be at the Mount Sinai Seventh-day Adventist Church on Sunday, January 12th. And this will be at 11 a.m. for anyone who would like to pay their respect. The repast will also follow that as well. The day before that, on the 11th, there will be a Domino's get-together at the Taste of Jamaica restaurant on OBT, and this is going to be at 7 p.m. January 11th. There will be great Domino games and Jamaican food, great Jamaican food, and great music. So, you know, if Brian meant something to you, which I'm sure he did, come on out and let's give him a good home going.
I think one of the things he requested was he wanted it to be a festive occasion.
No crying.
No.
It's hard for us, Brian. I'm sorry.
Listen, Brian, you can't take that from me,
I'm
right?
sorry. We miss you. We miss you so
I know
much.
one of the
There's-
Jamaican artists who's a big man no cry, right?
Yes,
But,
it's hard not to. But it's not. We're not crying because we're thankful that he's no longer suffering,
Mm-hmm.
and for that we are grateful.
But we're crying for the loss.
We just miss his presence.
Miss his presence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, Brian and Sophie, they come on from 5 till 6, right? And then we go to 6 to 7. And when we go outside the door, they're still
We
in
become a
conversation.
family, yes,
they're
they're-
still out there discussing stuff.
I'm expecting to walk out now and
I
see
know.
him out there.
It's like part 2 of the Back to Basics show out in the
Yes.
parking lot. You know, we learn a lot. We listen to the show coming in, and then we do our show, and we listen to the Countryman show on the way out. Saturdays are really nice. You know,
Nice family
It's a
time.
nice family.
Mhm.
That we've grown to be part of the family here, and like Beverly said, we're not going away. We're just taking a little time off.
Yes.
A little time off.
Yeah, we can work
Yes.
with that.
Yeah.
We certainly can.
Oh, so you do talk.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's Barry White voice.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God, it does
Yeah,
come
man.
on.
Listen, man. Sorry, I missed your thing last week.
No.
We were out.
Don't
We were
worry.
out, man. Yeah. I know. We just sadly being two big man talking while the audience, 2,000 people listening. You know. I want to welcome Carter and Megan. They took the time to come over here and spend the last show with us.
Get the camera.
Yeah, Carter says you're a good man. Can you name Carter? Wait, hold on. You're live now. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all you're going to say?
And I must say, both of them are doing very well in college.
Yes.
So, young people, please keep your focus so you can get through your higher education and you end up getting a good job.
Stay in school.
stay in school. Amen. Thank you,
And
Carter.
keep like Mr. Braswell said, don't get in trouble.
Yes. Yes.
Don't get in trouble. Don't get in a record. Don't be in what they call it, juvie.
Yes.
You know,
in juvie.
Some people take it as
Declined to be in
like
the armed
a
forces.
like a holiday to go to jail, but they don't realize what they're doing to their future. You know,
Basically, young people need to think about the long term, think about their future,
Yeah.
how it's affecting their behavior, how is that going to affect them long term.
but they need people to guide them though.
Yes.
You know, if they don't have that guidance from the family, the village,
They
the
need their
parents,
village, yeah.
then they're gonna fail.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're gonna fail. You know,
That's true.
sometimes when you wake up, it's too late.
Yes.
You know, look, this kid got a $250,000 grant and couldn't he lost it because of a little blotch on his record.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so the things that we do affect us.
Yes, it really does
Yeah.
affect us. So we want to say again to our listeners, thank you. It's been a great 5 years. We will pop in every now and then.
Yeah.
You'll hear us come in with surprise countryman sometimes
Yeah.
and come in. So thank you once again for a great 5 years. Thank you to Shante and the staff at WOKB for supporting us. And as we remember Brian, we just want to say, you know, everyone just keep loving each other, forgive each other, and try to live your lives the best you can. Have a good evening. This has been the Talk It Up radio show. God bless you all.
Saying goodbye for a while. Nobody can talk like me.